The Galactic Council chambers fell silent as Ambassador Danny Chen stood before the assembly of 12,000 alien species. Her brown eyes scanned the amphitheater, taking in the bioluminescent Zara, the crystalline Vex, and the towering Krelevry species that had voted unanimously to classify humanity as a servant race. "You made your decision," Danny said, her voice steady despite the tremor of rage building in her chest. "Now live with the consequences." The transmission cut. 3 parsecs away, aboard the human dreadnought Reckoning, Jasper Rodriguez watched the feed from the bridge. His jaw clenched as the alien council erupted in dismissive laughter. They thought Earth's population of 12 billion was manageable. They thought humanity's 200-year presence in the galaxy made them children. They thought wrong. "Captain," Jasper said, turning to the weathered woman in the command chair, "the ambassador has given the signal." Captain Morrison nodded slowly. "Then we show them what happens when you mistake patience for weakness. Commence Operation Fury." The Galactic Council had made their calculations. Humanity was young, technologically inferior, and spread too thin across their 50 colony worlds. The Council controlled 3 million systems, commanded fleets that blotted out stars, and possessed weapons that could crack planets. What threat could one upstart species possibly pose? They had forgotten to factor in one thing. Humanity had been preparing for this moment since the first Council scout had looked at Earth with calculating eyes. Danny had spent 10 years smiling and negotiating, buying time. Every treaty she signed, every compromise she made, every insult she swallowed, all of it had been theater. While the Council debated how best to harvest human labor, Earth's finest minds had been dissecting every piece of alien technology they could acquire, reverse engineering it, and improving upon it. The first strike came 30 minutes after Danny's transmission. The Zara homeworld's orbital defense grid simply ... stopped. Every satellite, every weapon platform, every shield generator went dark simultaneously. The Zara's butt flickered in panic as they realized their entire network had been compromised from within. The same primitive human technicians they'd dismissed for years had planted malware so sophisticated their best programmers couldn't even detect it until it activated. "Targets neutralized," Jasper reported, monitoring the tactical display. Moving to Phase 2, the Vexen crystal lattice cities shattered next. The silicon-based species had thought their quantum-encrypted communications unbreakable. They hadn't accounted for human intuition, the ability to think laterally, to solve problems not through computational power but through creative leaps that no algorithmic mind could predict. Danny's intelligence team had cracked their codes, not through brute force but through understanding the psychological patterns in how the Vexens structured thought itself. One by one, the great civilizations found themselves blind, deaf, and defenseless. But humanity didn't stop there. The Krell Emperor received Annie's second transmission in his throne room, surrounded by guards that suddenly found their weapons fused into useless metal. "You enslaved 17 species before us," Danny said, her image projected in crystalline clarity. "You built your empire on suffering. You looked at Earth and saw only resources to exploit, people to break. You forgot that humans study history obsessively. We learn from every mistake, every tragedy, every tyrant who thought they were invincible." The Emperor's mandibles clicked in what might have been fear. "You cannot destroy us all. We are billions of worlds. We don't need to destroy you," Danny interrupted. "We just need to free everyone you've oppressed." Across the galaxy, slave revolts erupted simultaneously. Humanity had spent a decade secretly contacting every subjugated species, sharing technology, sharing tactics, sharing hope. The weapons and communication devices that suddenly appeared in the hands of the oppressed bore no identifying marks, but they all carried the same message. From Earth, with solidarity. Jasper watched from the Reckoning as world after world lit up with revolution. The Fenrir chains are breaking on Gehenna Prime. The Archon mining camps on Tartarus 7 just went dark. "Captain, we're receiving surrender offers from 43 council species." "Ignore them," Morrison ordered. "They voted for our enslavement. They negotiated the terms of our servitude. They endorsed our suffering. Let them experience what it's like to be powerless." The war, if it could be called that, lasted 6 months. Not because humanity lacked the power to end it sooner, but because Danny and her fellow architects of Operation Fury wanted the lesson to sink deep. Every council species that had voted for Earth slavery watched as their infrastructure crumbled, their allies abandoned them, and their former slaves claimed freedom. The Galactic Council's final session was very different from their first. Where once 12,000 species had laughed at humanity's protests, now barely 3,000 remained. The rest had either surrendered unconditionally or collapsed into internal chaos. Danny stood before them again, but this time no one laughed. Humanity is not a servant race, she declared. We are not resources. We are not labor to be harvested. We are not your victims. She paused, letting her words echo through the vast chamber. But we could be your allies. We could be your teachers. We could show you what we've learned from 10,000 years of our own mistakes and triumphs. She gestured, and Jasper appeared beside her via hologram, along with representatives from every freed species. Or, Danny continued, her voice hardening, you can try again. You can rebuild your fleets, reorganize your forces, and come at us once more. But no, this humanity fights like we love, completely, irrationally, and without restraint. You took our patience for submission. Don't make that mistake again. The silence stretched. Then, one by one, the remaining council species cast their votes. This time, the resolution was unanimous. Earth and all her allied species would be recognized as sovereign equals. As Danny and Jasper departed the council chambers, he quietly asked, do you think they'll keep their word? She smiled grimly. Doesn't matter. We've changed the equation. The species they enslaved are free now. The balance of power has shifted. And they know that if they ever threaten us again, we'll respond with fury, Jasper finished. Exactly. And next time, we won't stop at civilizations. We'll erase the very memory of their tyranny. Behind them, the galaxy began its long journey toward a new order, one where humanity's message was clear. Never again.